Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 11월 26일 화요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. Now there's nothing more exciting for me than to hear this opening jingle because just like me, thousands of beloved listeners are looking forward to our daily 모스 time. But be it at home, on the subway, while driving or just walking, there are some precautions you should take even when listening to your favorite show. 이어폰으로 들을 때 볼륨 낮추기, 최대한 주변 소음 피하기, 일정 시간 귀 휴식시켜주기, 청력 손상을 예방할 수 있는 방법들인데요. 세계보건기구인 WHO 발표에 따르면 전 세계 청력 손상으로 고생하는 사람이 3억 6천여만 명에 달한다고 합니다. 어린이도 무려 3,200여만 명이나 포함되어 있다고 하는데요. 청력 손상은 노화의 문제만은 아닌 것 같습니다. 알게 모르게 혹사당하고 있는 우리의 귀, 특히 음악을 1시간 정도 들었다면 귀를 쉬게 해야 한다는 것, 청취자 여러분 잊지 마세요. Hearing is an important part of our life, helping us lead our everyday tasks without limitations, enabling us to socialize, work, communicate, and so much more. And with that in mind, here's a quiz question. Along with sight and touch, hearing is part of our 5 something. 1번 5 senses, 2번 5 flavors, 3번 5 missions. 오감에 해당되는 표현 골라주시면 되겠습니다. 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있어요. 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. Alright then, let's kick off today's show with today's global headlines. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
Pro-democracy parties in Hong Kong have pulled off a landslide victory in the latest district council elections in a watershed moment for anti-government protesters.
홍콩 민주화 시위의 중대 분수령이 될 것으로 여겨졌던 구의원 선거에서 홍콩 범민주진영이 압승을 거뒀습니다.
Uruguay's conservative National Party candidate Luis Lacalle-Pou held a slim lead on Sunday in a runoff presidential election.
우루과이 대통령 선거에서 중도 우파 야당 후보인 루이스 라카시포우가 박빙속 우세를 보이고 있습니다.
Syrian regime forces have captured a strategic town in the northwestern region of Idlib from militants.
시리아 정부군이 반군의 마지막 저항 거점인 이들립주의 마을을 점령했습니다.
China's systematic brainwashing of hundreds of thousands of Muslims in the far western Xinjiang region has been exposed for the first time through leaked documents.
중국 신장 지역의 이른바 직업훈련소에 위구르족 등 이슬람교를 믿는 약 100만 명의 소수민족이 수감돼 있다는 내부 문건이 폭로됐습니다.
Thousands of Venetians have taken to the streets to protest over frequent flooding and demand the mayor's resignation.
최근 잦은 홍수 피해로 성난 이탈리아 베네치아 시민 수천 명이 시장 퇴진을 요구하는 시위를 벌였습니다. And for the headlines and much more, I'm joined by Steve this morning. I can hear you loud and clear.
What do you mean?
Well, the opening
right.
today was
right.
about the about hearing and how you should protect your ears. If you have been listening to music for 1 hour, you should take a bit of a break. Things like that.
How do you like to listen to your music? Some people like to listen to the volume very low.
Yeah.
Other people, like myself, my headphones right now, the volume is set at the maximum. And I like to listen to music that way as well. And movies that way. And I guess everything I listen to, I like to hear it at a loud volume. How about you?
For movies, definitely. I like to make sure that I can't hear anything else but the movie. But with music, it depends on my mood. So sometimes I feel like listening to music full blast. Sometimes I just want to hear music in the background, but I also want to hear other stuff going on as well. So it depends on, how I feel, what I'm doing.
There's nothing better, though, than being in the car when the weather is nice, the sun is out, the windows are down, the wind is blowing through your hair, and your favorite song is playing on the radio, and you turn it up, and you sing as loud as you possibly can, right?
Do you sing in the car?
On occasion.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure, why not? It's a lot of fun, no?
With your windows down?
Well, I'll tell you, my sister Shannon, and I love her very much, she gets embarrassed very easily. And
I'm embarrassed hearing about this.
And I don't.
Right.
So when I was younger, I would be with Shannon in the car, and she would be driving, and I would be the passenger. And she would pull up to a set of lights, and the radio wouldn't even be on, maybe, but I would see the car next to us, and then I would just start dancing like crazy, like in the car, and Shannon would say, like, stop it! I just did it to embarrass her, so therefore what I mean is singing, no problem at all.
그렇군요.
Did you know this? If you wear your headphones per 1 hour or 2 hours, I think it increases the amount of bacteria in your ears by something like 600%.
What?
It's an alarming, we learned that expression, right? It's an alarming number. Yeah, you're trying to take it up.
그렇군요. 너무 오랫동안 헤드폰을 끼면 당연히 청력에도 좋지 않을 수 있지만 또 위생의 문제도 있을 수 있겠네요.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 600 or 700, but anyway, it's a really high number.
So every 1 hour or so, take a break, everyone. It doesn't have to be a long break, just a short break.
After the show,
Yeah.
you need to take a shower.
I shall do that. I thank you for allowing me to take a shower after the show, Steve. All right. If you'd like to listen to the headlines again, you can do so by visiting our website. 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에 들어가셔서요. 헤드라인 다시 듣기에서 조금 전에 읽어드린 헤드라인 다시 무료로 들으실 수 있습니다. 뉴스를 한번 살펴볼게요. Let's go to our first story.
Headline number 1 today, pro-democracy parties in Hong Kong have pulled off a landslide victory in the latest district council elections in a watershed moment for anti-government protesters.
홍콩 민주화 시위의 중대 분수령이 될 것으로 여겨졌던 구의원 선거에서 홍콩 범민주 진영이 압승을 거뒀습니다. Now this is an update.
Yes, that's right. We talked about it yesterday, right? And now we have the more updated numbers. The democracy-supporting candidates took 385 out of the 452 directly elected seats. That's 85%, seizing a majority for the first time since Hong Kong was returned to Chinese rule in 1997. That according to local media outlets. This was also the first electoral contest since the protests began back in June. And the pro-establishment bloc, they won just 59 seats, and that is what they call a far cry from the 298 that it currently holds.
아, 그렇군요. 일요일에 치러졌었던 홍콩의 구의원 선거의 결과가 오늘 아침에 나왔습니다. 어제까지만 해도 이제 압승이 예상된다. 그리고 중간 선거 결과를 우리가 말씀을 드렸는데 452석 중에서 저는 조금 더 업데이트된 수치가 있습니다만 388석을 범민주 진영이 차지했다. 그러니까 86% 싹쓸이를 한 거예요. 그리고 친중파는 13%인 60석에 불과했다고 하네요. Was it also the first time that such a large number of people participated in the vote?
Yeah, that's right. The official figures showed a record 71.2% of the 4.1 million eligible voters turned out for the elections. That's double the roughly 1.47 million who voted in the previous election. So voter turnout was really impressive for this.
그렇군요. 유권자의 70% 넘게 이번에 투표를 했는데요. 지난번에 있었던 선거에 비해 한 2배 정도가량 사람들이 투표에 참여를 했다라고 볼 수 있을 것 같고요. 사상 최대입니다. 294만 명이 투표에 참여를 했네요.
So the district councils, they perform limited functions and they lack the power to make laws, but still many viewed the elections as a referendum on Chief Executive Carrie Lam's leadership. There was a quote from Lee Wing-tat, who was the former head of the pro-democracy Democratic Party, which, by the way, won 91 seats and has become the party with the most seats in the territory's 18 councils. Lee Wing-tat said this is a genuine referendum for Hong Kong that shows an explosion of public opinion following 6 months of social unrest.
Experts are also saying that the reason that the Democratic Party got so many votes was because of the students and the younger generation. And in fact, some students that weren't even in Hong Kong came back just to vote.
Is that right?
Yeah, so a lot of the younger generation are saying, listen to us, this is what we want.
Alan Long, who is the Civic Party, or a part of the Civic Party, his party won 32 seats. They are the second biggest winner in the elections. He said 3 million voters have spoken clearly. The government must respond to Hong Kong people who use their votes to cut ties with tyranny. And Carrie Lam said in a statement on Monday that the government respects the election results and views them as reflecting the people's dissatisfaction with the current situation in Hong Kong.
What is Beijing's stance on all of this?
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi was speaking to reporters during his visit to Tokyo on Monday, and Wang Yi said that Hong Kong is a part of China, quote, no matter what happens, and I'll continue that quote, any attempt to destabilize Hong Kong or to undermine Hong Kong's prosperity and stability is doomed to failure.
Oh dear. 그렇습니다. 이번에는요, 유학생들조차도 홍콩에 귀국을 하면서 투표를 하는 등 젊은 층이 어떻게 보면은 이번 투표 결과의 원동력이 됐다라고 볼 수 있을 것 같고요. 그럼에도 불구하고 이번에 친중파가 이제 13% 의석밖에 차지하지 못했었지만 중국은 그래도 어떤 일이 있어도 홍콩은 중국의 일부다. 이런 입장을 다시 한번 표명했습니다. Let's leave that headline there and go on to headline number 2.
Headline number 2 this morning, Uruguay's Conservative National Party candidate Luis Lacalle Pou held a slim lead on Sunday in a runoff presidential election.
우루과이 대통령 선거에서 중도우파 야당 후보인 루이스 라카슈포우가 박빙 속에 우세를 보이고 있습니다.
So Uruguay's conservative opposition, they held a slim lead on Sunday in this runoff presidential election between the liberal ruling party and a really resurgent opposition that had been the pre-vote favorite to come away with the victory. So it's super, super close. With 99.4% of polling booths counted, the National Party candidate, and that is again Luis Lacalle Pou, had a 48.74% lead over the Broad Front Party candidate, Daniel Martinez, 47.48%. So listen to how close that is. 48.74% to 47.48%. That's a lot of 4s, 7s, and 8s. Basically, that's only a difference of some 30,000 votes.
와, 그렇군요. 지금 투표 결과가 99%까지 발표가 된 상황입니다. 한 1% 정도의 이제 그 투표 결과를 우리가 기다리고 있어야 하는 상황인데요. 너무나 박빙이기 때문에 그렇습니다. 지금 보면은 48.7% 대 47.5%. 그러니까 한 1% 정도밖에 차이가 나지 않아요. 마지막까지 이 투표 결과를 봐야지만 진짜로 우승은 누가 하는 것인지를 알 수 있을 것 같습니다. That's why up until this point we can only say Lacalle Pou is in the lead. We can't say he's won because we don't know for sure.
Yo, you're exactly right, because the official result could be delayed until Thursday or Friday as the last votes are counted.
Right.
And Lacalle Pou, speaking later on, he said that he would also wait to claim victory and that the close result meant that the two parties would need to work closely together in the period ahead.
그렇습니다. 아마 이제 목요일이나 금요일이 되어야 확정 발표가 있을 것 같습니다. 이제 누가 우루과이의 새 대통령이 될 것인지요. 근데 만약에 이제 라카슈포가 당선이 되면은 3월 1일부터 5년의 임기를 시작하게 됩니다.
The Broad Front Party, it's interesting. You know, they had been ruling for 15 years, and they had a period of stability and growth, but they've come under pressure recently from a slowing economy. That's due to global trade woes and also the effects of drought and flooding on the farming sector, which is key to Uruguay's economy.
네, 그렇습니다. 그리고 이제 그 한글 기사에는 보면은 라카예라고 그 이름이 쓰여 있습니다만 제가 그 미국 뉴스를 여러 개 이제 찾아서 봤는데 거기서는 다 라카슈라고 발음을 하더라고요. 그래서 두 가지 발음을 일단은 써보겠습니다. 다시 한번 나중에 우루과이 방송을 보면서 확인을 해볼게요. Let's go on to our next headline.
Headline number 3 this morning, Syrian regime forces have captured a strategic town in the northwestern region of Idlib from militants.
시리아 정부군이 반군의 마지막 저항 거점인 이들립 주의 마을을 점령했습니다.
So Syrian forces captured, it was on Sunday, a northwestern village from militants after fighting that left more than a dozen killed on both sides. That's according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. They captured the people that they wanted to, the militants, after clashes with insurgents that left 6 troops and 9 insurgents dead. And the Syrian regime launched a 4-month offensive earlier this year against the country's last opposition stronghold in the Idlib province, and this offensive forced hundreds of thousands of civilians to flee from their home. There was a fragile ceasefire that had been in place since the end of August, but in recent weeks they say that has been repeatedly violated.
네, 그렇습니다. 시리아의 정부군과 반군의 대치가 지금 수년째 이어지고 있는데요. 2011년에 내전이 있었습니다. 그 이후 정부군에 맞서고 있는 반군의 마지막 거점이 바로 이들립인데요. 시리아 정부군이 이 지역, 이 이들립의 마을을 점령했다는 소식이고 15명이, 최소 15명이 사망했다라는 소식도 전해지고 있습니다. It used to be a relatively small village. I think about 1 million people live there. But then because the militants added forces, more people joined, it's now has a population of about 3 million, I think. So it has gotten bigger, but the government has said, we're taking over.
Yeah, and also there's an issue of landmines too. In this article, in eastern Syria, there was a mine that was left behind since the days of ISIS in the village of Tabe, and it killed a child and wounded 17 others in a school field. The observatory said that the blast in the village killed 5 children and wounded others. Landmines left behind by the extremist group have killed or maimed scores of people over the past month. So I guess the main point here is that it's not over yet.
Exactly. And if we look at this from a broader picture, the Syrian government is backed by Russia, the Syrian militants are backed by Turkey, and they had actually agreed on a truce not too long ago.
That was that ceasefire, right?
Yeah, exactly. But then, because the PKK forces, which Turkey claimed to be controlled by themselves, attacked certain regions in Syria, now the attacks resumed, and now that's why this had to happen, I suppose. All right, let's go on to our next headline.
Headline number 4 this morning, China's systematic brainwashing of hundreds of thousands of Muslims in the far western Xinjiang region has been exposed for the first time through leaked documents.
중국 신장 지역의 이른바 직업훈련소에 위구르족 등 이슬람교를 믿는 약 100만 명의 소수민족이 수감돼 있다는 내부 문건이 폭로됐습니다.
So these leaked documents, which have been labeled the China Cables, they include a 9-page memo that was sent out in 2017 by Zhu Hailun, the then deputy secretary of Xinjiang's Communist Party and the region's top security official, to those who run the camps. Now, these leaked documents detail for the first time China's systematic brainwashing of hundreds of thousands of Muslims in a network of high-security prison camps.
And that goes against China's claim that these camps are voluntary camps where you go and learn how to become a possible employee of a company, and it's just like a job training facility. Apparently not, because once you go in there, you cannot come out. You have to learn only Mandarin, which is the Chinese official language, and some people are saying they are brainwashing the minority groups.
Well, in the leaked documents, the instructions make it clear that the camps should be run as high-security prisons with strict discipline, punishments, and no escapes. And I'll read to you some of the things from the memo from those documents.
Okay.
Never allow escapes.
지금 보이는 라디오로 영상을 또 띄워드리고 있는데요. 같이 보시면서 들으시면 좋겠습니다.
Never allow escapes. Increase discipline and punishment of behavioral violations. Promote repentance and confession. Make remedial Mandarin studies the top priority. Encourage students to truly transform. Ensure full video surveillance coverage of dormitories and classrooms free of blind spots.
Wow.
This does not sound like a place where people go voluntarily, does it?
그렇습니다. 그동안에는 이제 뭐 직업 훈련소라고 해 왔었지만 이 문건에 따르면은 9페이지짜리 메모로 구성된 문건인데요. 전혀 그렇지 않은 것 같습니다. 여기에서는 반드시 뭐 이렇게 참회라든지 아니면은 어떤 이제 자신의 잘못된 점을 자백을 하도록 한다는 그런 내용도 일부 들어있는 것 같고요. 절대로 나올 수가 없고 반드시 이제 중국의 언어와 문화를 배우는 것이 우선적이다라는 여러 가지 내용이 들어 있습니다. 이것에 대한 중국의 반응도 궁금하거든요. What is China's response to this?
Well, I can tell you what the international response to this is.
Okay.
Sophie Richardson, who's the China director at Human Rights Watch, she said that the leaked memo should be used by prosecutors. And Ben Emerson, a leading human rights lawyer and an advisor to the World Uyghur Congress, and the Uyghur people is the group of Muslims that we're talking about here, he said that the camps were trying to change people's identity. Quote, he said, it is very difficult to view that as anything other than a mass brainwashing scheme designed and directed at an entire ethnic community. It's a total transformation that is designed specifically to wipe the Muslim Uyghurs of Xinjiang as a separate cultural group off the face of the earth. And simply to answer your question about China's response, they're saying, no, we're not doing that at all.
네, 그렇습니다. 국제 인권단체인 Human Rights Watch는 이번 문건을 통해서 중국을 처벌해야 한다 이렇게 주장을 하고 있지만요. 이 보도가 BBC를 통해서 나왔는데 주 영국 중국 대사는 이건 다 페이크 뉴스다 라고 얘기를 했습니다. 가짜 뉴스다 이런 거죠. Let's go on to our next final story.
Final story today. Thousands of Venetians have taken to the streets to protest over frequent flooding and demand the mayor's resignation.
네, 최근 잦은 홍수 피해로 성난 이탈리아 베네치아 시민 수천 명이 시장 퇴진을 요구하는 시위를 벌였습니다.
Yeah, this is about the frequent flooding, these protests, but it's also about the impact of giant cruise ships. So about 2,000 or 3,000 people, they came out to protest, and critics say that the waves about these cruise ships, the waves from cruise ships create an erosion effect on Venice's foundations. They were out, they were chanting Venice resist, and they are calling for the resignation of the mayor. His name is Luigi Brugnaro. The marchers also appealed for a massive project, the one that we talk about all the time, MOSE, to be perhaps delayed for a period of time.
네, 그렇습니다. 그러니까 베네치아를 홍수 피해로부터 보호하기 위해서 2003년부터 시작된 이 모세 프로젝트 같은 경우에 사실 취지는 굉장히 좋았습니다만 결국은 완공 목표로 했던 2011년을 훌쩍 지나서까지 계속 지연이 되고 있고요. 잦은 부패 스캔들과 연루돼서 이제는 아예 시민들이 그냥 없던 걸로 해라 라고 얘기를 할 정도라고 합니다. 지금 보이는 라디오로 시위하고 있는 모습도 보여드리고 있습니다.
Yeah, there was a quote from one activist, and he said that the Venetians have just endured a deep wound. The flooding brought this city to its knees and revealed its extreme fragility to the world. That, you know, they had another high water event on Sunday where water levels reached 1.3 meters. So it happened again. And this city, which is a UNESCO World City, 50,000 people live there, but 36 million people visit Venice every single year.
Wow.
So you can understand the cause for their concerns.
Indeed. Well, those are our headlines this morning. Let's now remind our listeners of the quiz.
The quiz question this morning, along with sight and touch, hearing is part of our 5. Number 1, senses. Number 2, flavors. Or number 3, missions.
네, 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. 총 5분께 추첨을 통해서 떡볶이 세트 보내드릴게요. Our first song of the day is Coffee Shop by Barbara Lika. You're listening to Morning Special. 최재혁 님이요. 영화 식스센스의 할리 조엘 오스먼의 귀여운 얼굴이 생각나네요. 좋은 하루 되세요. 라고 보내주셨습니다. This person was reminded of the little boy in The Sixth Sense. What was it that we said that reminded this listener of the boy in the movie?
Maybe quiz related, I guess.
Ah, right. Of course. There you go.
Haley Joel Osment, right?
Yeah.
Did you, when you watched the movie, have you seen the movie, The
Yes.
Sixth Sense? Hard to say, The Sixth Sense. Did you figure it out before the end of the movie came?
No.
Me neither.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I was
neither
shocked.
I was shocked too. Some people said, oh yeah, I saw that coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good expression. I'm going to choose that one for the end of this.
Oh, perfect,
saw
yeah.
that coming, yeah. It's a good movie though. If you haven't seen it, check it
It
out.
really was, yeah. I feel like it's one of those movies that it's been out for so long and everyone now knows the ending of the movie.
Yeah, right. But still, yeah, when did it come out? Like 1990
Yeah,
something?
yeah. At
right?
least 20 years, I would say.
Yeah.
네, 생각나네요, 저도요. 당당뿌미님은요, 출근 전에 5분 여유 있어서 소파에 앉아 모스 듣고 있습니다. 출근하면서는 차 안에서 듣고요. 뭔가 나를 위한 소중한 투자를 하고 있다는 뿌듯함이 있습니다. I feel like I'm making a very valuable investment when I tune into Morning Special, says our listener.
Well, that's a wonderful
That
compliment.
is very nice
No
indeed.
pressure there. Just teasing.
황민성 님이요. Good morning, 수진쌤, 스티브쌤. 여기는 양양공항입니다. Oh, this person is at the airport. 비 오고 난 뒤 많이 추워졌네요. 하지만 오늘은 해가 나서 그나마 따뜻할 것 같아요. 좋은 하루 보내세요. 하셨습니다.
Yangyang is famous for mushrooms.
Don't ask me these things,
I
Steve.
might be very wrong about that. Mushrooms and surfing, I think. People go, is it called Surf Beach? I want to say Surf
I
Beach.
think so. I think this, yeah, because it's in Gangwon-do. I would imagine they have some water sports going on there.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. I've never been myself, but it looks like a really fun place to hang out in the summertime.
I think it's one of Alex's favorite places to go to, our travel guy.
Oh, yeah.
Alex,
Yeah.
And I think our listener maybe works there, since there's no mentioning of a travel plan or anything. I'm guessing that they maybe work at the
Live or work there, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for that, 황민성님. 그리고 배혜원님은요. 8살 그리고 12살 딸들과 함께 등교 준비하며 매일 아침 재미있게 듣고 있어요. 아침마다 밝은 목소리 들려주셔서 감사합니다. 라고 보내주셨어요. Well, thank you for tuning in and listening. Otherwise, I would have no reason to sound joyous and happy.
Do you know what I realized the other day? We were talking about Sixth Sense came out in the 1990s, 1990 something.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me the other day. This is going to make everyone feel really old. In about, what are we, November 26th?
Yeah.
In about 5 weeks, 1990 will be 30 years ago.
Oh, really? It's not 20 years.
Yeah.
It's 30 years ago.
Yeah, because the year 2000 will be 20 years ago.
true.
Isn't that shocking?
Oh, my goodness.
That occurred to me. I don't know why, but it occurred to me, and I just stopped in my tracks and said, oh my goodness. Time does fly.
It really does indeed. Well, keep your messages coming in. Thank you for all those messages this morning. I'd like to read some more later on. We have some prizes to give out as well. We have 5 떡볶이 sets waiting for their new owners. All right, let's take a look at our news focus stories. 자, 첫 번째 뉴스 포커스 살펴볼게요. 홍콩에서 정부의 감시를 피해 병원 밖으로 나와 시위대를 치료해주는 일명 유령 의료진들에 대해 영국 일간 The Times가 보도했는데요. 이들은 인터넷 메신저에서 가명으로 시위대와 소통하는 등 비밀리에 의료 서비스를 제공하고 있다고 합니다. Let's listen to the story.
According to a Times report on Monday, ghost medics in Hong Kong have been treating protesters since protests began in June, as doctors, nurses, and therapists have formed underground networks to secretly provide medical services. They usually communicate with protesters under an alias on internet messenger services and run to the protest site for first aid or provide complex medical treatment in rented apartments or hotel rooms. The Times reported that medical workers who secretly operate to treat the protesters put their jobs on the line, as well as risk getting arrested, as the convention guaranteeing the safety of doctors in conflict zones also does not apply to them.
네, 그렇습니다. 시위대 중에서도 사실 치료가 필요한 부상자가 많이 있을 텐데요. 이들을 치료하는 것조차도 홍콩 정부에서는 불허하고 있기 때문에 비밀리에 유령 의료진이라는 닉네임이 생길 정도로 가명을 쓰면서 이제 온라인상으로 채팅을 해서 어디에서 만나겠다. 주로 뭐 호텔이라든지 뭐 다른 이런 비밀 시설에 가서 치료를 해주고 그러고 있다고 합니다.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but this was new information for me when I saw this story yesterday because of all the talks that we've done on Hong Kong. We've
Yeah.
never covered this story before.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this existed.
Exactly, and I was so surprised that the medics would get punished if they were treating the protesters. I felt like, are we maybe crossing the line between, protesting and being human here?
Yeah, well, like I said at the end of the article, or like the end of the article says, they do risk getting arrested because the convention guaranteeing the safety of doctors in conflict zones, it doesn't apply to them here.
그렇습니다.
So that'll be our first expression here. If
All
something
right.
does not apply to you, it means that you are not affected by this thing or you do not benefit from this thing. Basically, it means that this has nothing to do with you.
Right.
Whatever the setup is, it does not concern you at all.
누구에게는 해당되지 않는다라고 할 때 this does not apply to you라고 할 수 있을 텐데요. 이렇게 좀 위험 지역이라고 볼 수 있는 시위가 일어나고 있는 지역에서 의사들은 안전이 보장되지 않습니다. 그래서 어떤 안전 그런 것들이 보장되지 않았다. It does not apply to them.
I will give you a couple of examples, one positive, one negative. So maybe your manager of your team says to you at a meeting, oh, there's going to be changes, ABC, to certain sections of this company, certain departments. And your employees say, no. And you can say, no, don't worry. This doesn't apply to you. So the negative thing, you are not affected by that thing.
Right.
So that's a good thing, right? Yeah, so sometimes it's beneficial. But sometimes it can be hurtful, maybe, as well. If your coworkers are having an animated discussion, a little argument, and you try to interject, and you say, hey, everybody, just, why don't... Maybe they say to you, hey, we're talking here. This doesn't apply to you, meaning you have nothing to do with this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And talking about, working here, most of the people in the nation get public holidays off. That does not apply to us.
The red days.
The red
Yeah,
days.
that's right.
What's another expression?
So the Times reported that these medical workers, they put their jobs on the line. And when you put something on the line, it means that you are putting that thing at risk.
Exactly.
At risk of losing it when we are talking about jobs here, because the medical workers are risking getting arrested because of that thing that does not apply to them, right? So when you put something on the line, you're at risk of losing that thing.
그렇습니다. 이렇게 비밀리에 치료를 하고 있는 이유는요. 적발될 경우에는 심하면 구속이 될 수도 있다. 이런 내용이 들어있는데 그러니까 직업을 걸고 그러고 이렇게 비밀리에 시위대를 치료하고 있다라는 겁니다. 위태롭다는 의미도 있고요. underline, 뭐뭐를 걸고라는 뜻도 있습니다.
You could say this if you are starting a new business, right? New business, you've invested a lot of money, you've invested your time, your blood, your sweat, your tears. You can say, I'm really excited about my new business, but I'm also very nervous. I have a ton on the line.
그렇죠. 내 모든 것을 걸고 이 사업을 시작했어라고 할 때도 쓸 수 있는 표현입니다. All right, let's listen to the story one more time.
According to a Times report on Monday, ghost medics in Hong Kong have been treating protesters since protests began in June, as doctors, nurses, and therapists have formed underground networks to secretly provide medical services. They usually communicate with protesters under an alias on internet messenger services and run to the protest site for first aid or provide complex medical treatment in rented apartments or hotel rooms. The Times reported that medical workers who secretly operate to treat the protesters put their jobs on the line, as well as risk getting arrested, as the convention guaranteeing the safety of doctors in conflict zones also does not apply to them.
네, 계속해서 이런 선한 의도를 가진 의사들과 의료진들이 적발이 안 되기를 바라겠습니다. 두 번째 뉴스 포커스예요. 전쟁 범죄 혐의로 기소된 미국 해군 특전단 군인을 둘러싸고 도널드 트럼프 대통령과 해군 간의 파열음이 터져나오고 있습니다. 트럼프 대통령은 이 특공대원을 감싸는 반면 해군은 그를 축출하기 위한 징계 절차를 강행한다는 입장이기 때문인데요. Let's listen to the story.
Navy Secretary Richard Spencer has resigned at the request of Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who cited a private proposal by Spencer to the White House to restore the rank of SEAL Edward Gallagher, who had been accused of war crimes and was convicted of posing next to a corpse. Gallagher was acquitted in his court-martial of war crime charges, but was convicted of the lesser charge of posing with the corpse. Mr. Trump tweeted Sunday evening that he was not pleased with the way Gallagher's trial was handled and said he had restored Eddie's rank.
네, 에드워드 갤러거라고 하는 특공 대원을 트럼프 대통령은 이제 감싸고 있는 모습입니다. 여러 가지 혐의가 있었는데요. 뭐 민간인을 총으로 쏘고 또 포로로 잡힌 극단주의 IS 전사를 사냥용 칼로 살해한 혐의 등등이 있었지만 결국은 이런 것들은 다 무죄 선고를 받았고 다만 10대 포로의 시신 옆에서 사진을 찍어서 군의 명예를 실추했다라는 좀 덜한 그런 혐의만 유죄로 인정이 됐다고 합니다.
Yeah, so Edward Gallagher is the guy in question here. And like I said, he had been accused of these war crimes. And he was acquitted of the war crimes, but he was convicted of the crime of posing next to a corpse. And there was the issue here is this request that, you know, let's restore his rank so that he can retire, with honor. And then there are certain people involved who did not think that that was appropriate at all.
So the lesser charge we're talking about here is what?
Posing with the corpse. Now, obviously, that is still a very serious charge, but when you compare it with the other war crimes that he was accused of, then that is considered the lesser of the two. So the lesser of something, it's when you're comparing two things, and we know the word less and more, right? So lesser is in reference to two things that you're comparing when one is lower or one is cheaper or one is of lower quality,
Right.
for example.
그렇습니다. 여기서는 그 charge라는 것은 혐의를 말하고요. 좀 더 가벼운, 덜한 그런 혐의로 유죄 판결을 받았다라는 뜻이 되겠죠?
I'll give you a fun expression that comes up in politics a lot of the time.
Right.
So let's say that an election is coming up. I've heard this expression in North America talking about politics a lot. When an election is coming up and you have candidate A and candidate B, and you don't like candidate A or candidate B, right? And someone asks, who are you going to vote for? Say, well, you know, I guess A, he or she is the lesser of two evils. And basically that's an expression that means both options are bad, but this one is less bad, so I'll choose that one.
아, 그렇군요.
Yeah.
The lesser of two evils 그러면은 두 명의 악당 중에서 좀 덜한 악당을 내가 고르겠다. 뭐 직역을 하면 그렇고요. 정치에 있어서는 둘 다 별로 마음에 안 들어. 그래도 이 사람이 좀 덜 나쁜 것 같아 라고 하면서 쓸 수 있는 표현이 되겠습니다. And handled.
Yeah, that's right. So President Trump tweeted Sunday evening that he was not happy with the way that Edward Gallagher's trial was handled, and he had restored what he called Eddie's rank. So when you're not happy with the way that something is handled, then it means that you are not happy with the way that the situation was taken care of. So to handle something means to deal with something, right? And again, I'll give you a work example. If your boss tries to give you a big project and you think, ooh, I don't think I'm qualified to deal with this work, you can say to your boss, I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know if I can handle this. And your boss will probably say, I'm sure you can handle it.
네, 여기서의 handle은 손잡이랑 아무 상관이 없고요. 일을 처리하다라는 뜻의 동사가 되겠습니다. 그래서 이게 제대로 처리가 됐느냐 안 됐느냐 가지고 논란이 일고 있는 거죠. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Navy Secretary Richard Spencer has resigned at the request of Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who cited a private proposal by Spencer to the White House to restore the rank of SEAL Edward Gallagher, who had been accused of war crimes and was convicted of posing next to a corpse. Gallagher was acquitted in his court-martial of war crime charges, but was convicted of the lesser charge of posing with the corpse. President Trump, Mr. Trump, tweeted Sunday evening that he was not pleased with the way Gallagher's trial was handled and said he had restored Eddie's rank.
Steve, can you help me out with the quiz once again?
Can do. The question is, along with sight and touch, hearing is part of our 5 blank. Is it number 1, senses, number 2, flavors, number 3, missions?
짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 떡볶이 세트 보내드릴게요. 노래 듣고 오겠습니다. This is Joe Brooks, Love Leads the Way. 자, 다음 뉴스 포커스입니다. 페루의 나스카 평원에 가면 인류 최대 수수께끼 중 하나를 만나볼 수 있습니다. 널따란 평원에 새겨져 있는 대형 땅 그림 지상화인데요. 한 연구팀이 최근 이 지역에서 143개의 땅 그림을 추가로 발견했다고 발표했습니다. Let's listen to the story.
A team of Japanese researchers identified 2,000-year-old images in the Peruvian desert about 402 kilometers southeast of Lima. The team used a combination of methods to uncover the images, which had been etched into the desert as early as 100 BC. The drawings, also known as geoglyphs, depict many forms including humans, llamas, alpacas, cats, fish, and snakes. Many have a geometric quality to them as well. Some of the largest geoglyphs span over 300 feet long. Anthropologists believe the Nazca culture, which began around 100 BC, created the majority of the lines.
Now this is so cool. I can't believe these massive drawings, what would you call them? These images were made in the ground.
Etchings.
Etchings, there you go. Thank you very much. 2,000 years ago. And a lot of them are still amusing to this day. I like, well, for me, the snake with the 2 heads eating human beings. I found that both scary and very humorous.
They are amazing, aren't they? And some of them are really huge. I mean, they're captured from satellite images, right? And
지금 보이는 라디오에 띄워드리고 있습니다.
some of them are really cute too. They look like they could be animation characters these days, right?
맞아요. 약간 그렇게 사람처럼 생긴 것도 있고 그다음에 토끼인지 강아지인지 모를 그런 동물처럼 생긴 것도 있고요. 정말 신기합니다.
So the question is, what were they trying to achieve?
Exactly.
Right? Like
Yeah,
astrological something or other, or communicating with
aliens.
Perhaps, right? Saying, this is us. This is what represents us here on this planet. Never
맞아요.
know, right?
왜 이렇게 땅에다가 그림을 새겨놨을까요? 혹자는 외계인과 의사소통을 하려고 한 것이었다. 뭐 이런 얘기도 있지만 알 수는 없습니다. 2100년에서 1700년 전에 그려진 이 지상화 140여 개가 새로 발견됐다라는 소식입니다. All right, let's go over some expressions.
Yeah, so the drawings, these are called geoglyphs, right? And they depict many forms, including humans and llamas, alpacas, cats, fish, and snakes.
Yeah.
Depict, D-E-P-I-C-T. And it's to show something, so show some sort of art form or image or character.
Right.
I'll give you an easy example. When you watch a reality TV show. Okay, let's use the example of that cooking show that I told you I was watching. The one where the chef comes to the restaurant and then the restaurant is not successful.
Yeah.
Well, the show that I was watching, it kind of depicted the girl, the head chef, as kind of a cranky, a little rude person. Now, the reality is, maybe she's super sweet. But what I mean is, on that show, that's how they depicted her. That's how they showed her
Right.
as her character.
그렇죠. 묘사하다라는 뜻의 depict가 여기서 쓰였는데요. 여러 가지 형체와 동물과 사람 등등등 그림들을 이제 묘사한다. 라고 볼 수 있겠습니다. 사람에 대해서도 어떻게 묘사되다라고 할 때 he is or she is depicted as
Yeah, that's
이렇게
right.
하면 되겠죠.
Yeah, and these geoglyphs, they depict, they show many different forms.
Exactly.
And anthropologists believe that the Nazca culture, which began a whole long time ago, 100 BC, they created the majority of the lines. Very commonly used term, majority of. It means the most of. You can use it positively or you can use it negatively. Here's a negative example. I think that the majority of Hollywood films these days are bad.
Do you?
No. Sometimes I feel like that, but it's just a sentence example. And that means the most of Hollywood movies these days. Or if you want to use it in a positive way, you can say, yeah, I traveled through so many cities in the country I traveled to, and I enjoyed the majority of the cities.
그렇습니다. majority 그러면은 뭐뭐의 대부분이라는 뜻이 될 텐데요. 여기서는 이제 대부분의 이런 그림들이 나스카 사람들이 그 문화를 표현하기 위해서 한 것이다라고 보고 있다는 거죠. Alright, well, we are short on time. 다시 읽기를 오늘은 스킵하도록 하겠습니다. Alright, so what is the answer to the quiz, Steve?
Quiz question today, along with sight and touch, hearing is part of our 5, and the answer, number 1, senses.
네, 오감을 5 senses라고 하죠. 1번이 정답이고요. Congratulations, 양다운님, 지은주님, 박영란님, 8308님, 그리고 당당쁨이라는 아이디 쓰시는 분 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 그리고 박영란님이요. 서울 KTX에서 잘 듣고 있다고 알려주셨는데요. 감사합니다. Steve, what is today's expression?
Yeah, it's the one I said I wanted to mention. We were talking about the sixth sense, and we were saying the end, a lot of people saw it coming. So to see something coming, it's when something is predictable, right? So we can talk about it with movies. Oh yeah, it was a predictable movie. I saw that coming. Think about it literally on a road. If you look down the road and you can see a car a long ways away, and you say, oh yeah, I see it coming. That's literally.
Oh, right.
We use it figuratively.
Yes.
You had a good example about children too.
Sometimes kids will hold drinks and snacks and just walk around and you know what's coming. They're going to spill everything.
Yep, so they spill their juice and you say,
I saw that coming.
I saw that coming. Or I should have seen that coming.
그렇게
I
말해.
should have predicted that.
그렇군요.
Yeah.
그럴 줄 알았어 라는 뜻으로 I saw that coming 이라고 할 수 있고요. 아니면 I should have seen that coming. 그 미리 좀 예방을 했었어야 됐는데 라고도 할 수 있습니다. Well, the end of our show has almost arrived. I guess I saw that coming. Thank you, Steve.
You're very welcome. By the way, thank you, Kim Bo-jung님. Yangyang is famous for mushrooms.
그렇군요.
송이버섯. I remember now, and there's a giant mushroom statue in the middle of town.
그래요. 김보정님, 양양이 송이버섯, 바다, 서핑, 계곡 모두 유명합니다. 스티브 쌤, 한국 사람이네요.
I still need to travel so many more places around the country. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for having me today. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Well, let's go on to hour 2 now with a song. This is Chic, Good Times.